Hello, everybody. It's Henry. I haven't done Henry's Coffee Shop talk in a while, and another one of my coworkers the other day saw me. We were getting a big, giant work picture taken, and he says, "Henry, we really miss those coffee shop talks." I said, "Are you joking with me? I mean, you playing with me?" I know. I don't know. It's something for me to talk. It's kind of like therapy because I miss something that's important. This one's going to be on teamwork again. I miss the solid teamwork. I miss the group of people going to do something and accomplishing it and saying, look what we did. I work with a bunch of great men, I really do, and women. And it's superb, and we do a lot of great things on submarine repairs. But it seems like every day is a struggle to get everybody to focus and operate as a team cohesively. And I'm going to repeat myself to any business or any entity. Teamwork is paramount. I couldn't have been a good submariner and done what I did on submarines without the teamwork and the camaraderie. Before all that, when I was a kid and I understood what teamwork was, I worked on a produce farm, and I worked out with a bunch of great people, the Reyeses, and I've talked about them in the past. We worked as a team. Me and Jim, we were young men. We were out there 10, 12 hours moving irrigation pipe. Who would have thought that two young guys could pick up a irrigation pipe probably weighing 60 pounds, 30 pounds each, bending over, moving over about 4 lanes and relocking and loading, breaking, relocking and loading. We did that for several summers. And we became a real good team. We could understand each other. We loved each other. And I think about them all the time. I've looked back and tried to find them many times. I wish I could. But I learned a lot of my teamwork. I look back at that. And then I come in the Navy and learn teamwork. And learned it in boot camp. They teach you teamwork and unity. And then went to a carrier and understood some teamwork there and how things operated. In submarines, that's really how I saw teamwork. 130 some men, now women too, operating a mechanical machine underwater with no eyes, only your ears, and charts, and navigating the oceans on hundreds and thousands of miles that I rode in a submarine, drove or rode on, and many, many, many years. I did 28 years on submarines and 2 years on a carrier. Did 30 years total. And it was all teamwork. There's so many of the new generation of leadership I'm seeing don't understand that word. Or don't grasp it and understand it. You can't do it by yourself. You gotta have a cohesive team. I remember one time I was going through leadership class. We were talking about different teams you want to pick, and up on the board they had 4 of them. And they had the teams that were on there. They had football, they had basketball, they had soccer, and then they had baseball. And there's an analogy to this psychologically. You're looking at it, and they'd ask you to pick a team you thought was a cohesive team that where everybody was doing something and not just one person. And look at it, and some people picked baseball, some people picked basketball, some people picked soccer. I picked the whole classroom. I picked football as a big cohesive team. And then you had to give the analogy why you picked them. And I picked football, and here's why I picked football. First, you got to have a leader, and that's going to be the guy throwing the ball. That's your quarterback, right? He's going to cohesify the team and get the people to block for him, people to run for him, and people that's going to receive the ball. It takes the whole team to get that ball down the whole lane. And it doesn't come to one entity on a football team. And that's how I looked at it. That's how I always trained my guys, ran my divisions, and I try to do where I'm at now is that I'm the quarterback, and I kind of explained this the other day to some of my coworkers, and you're the receiver. You're the blocker. And if you look at soccer, which is a nice sport, it's kind of a team, but it's not. If you ever watch soccer, you've always got one big star player, right? And everybody works the ball to him. And then when you get, and there's some points on the field in the soccer, you can't go any further. You got to stop. So how is that a cohesive team? Yeah, it takes a team, but not like football. Then you got baseball, and baseball is all about the pitcher and the batter. And then when the ball finally get hit, then it becomes the team to jump in. But it's also sometimes singularity. It could be second base, it could be third base. It's just not, to me, playing all these different sports, I still think football was always the way I use my analogy to run my division as a football team. And then you go, and I already talked about soccer, I already talked about baseball, and then basketball. Basketball, again, you always have a one-star player. If I think of basketball, I'll think of only the star players that played on basketball. I don't think about the whole team. I don't even know the rest of the names on the team. Again, you take the ball, you work it down court, and you pass to the guy that's going to get you 3 points. You're going to pass to the guy that hits the target all the time. Not much, it's a team, but it's not much as cohesive. Again, back to football. So I use the football team as my pick in my classroom. Probably about 15 of us are leaders. And then I explained it, and then I showed it, and then I had already run a division as a first class, not even realizing before I got on a leadership course that I was already operating at that leader in that course, just amplified what I believed in, what I was doing. And I did that based off me working in a produce farm and watching Mr. Reyes and what he taught me. Now, he didn't speak very good English, and I didn't criticize him for that, but I understood him. And I tell you what, he was a mentor to me as a young boy, and he was a mentor to me because I didn't have my father around. And I knew what he was saying, and I knew what he meant, and I think he had a big impact on who I am today. I also my uncles, too, were also big team players and worked hard and had a good work ethic. And I learned from both of them. My Uncle Kenny and my Uncle Alvin, I've watched them as a kid as I grew up until I left home. And they were an inspiration to me, too. My Uncle Kenny is passed now. He's gone. And I got my Uncle Alvin. And I love him, and I wish I would have connected with him more before our age got up there. But, that's hindsight. You never know. But I try to do my coffee shop talks. I want to help people to be understanding leaders. You got to have a cohesive team. You got 8 guys, 2 guys, 3 guys. You got to have a cohesive team. I tell you, a team at work that I watch a lot, and then I'm going to throw him out there, is Mr. Lowry. Mr. Lowry has, in my opinion, one of the toughest jobs. He's got stuff that's heavy he's got to carry and tote around. He's got a very diverse group of people working for him. Very energetic. They love work. They've got pride in their business, and they're a cohesive team. But they have a tough job, and that is putting in tile and taking out decking on a submarine. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, you have 100 and maybe 200, maybe 300 people walking around this submarine, and you only have certain paths you can take. You don't have much choice. And to have the spirit and the drive and motivation to deal with all these people trying to walk around, cut over, step on, and asking you to move every 5 minutes, that takes a really good cohesive team. It takes a cohesive mindset. It takes a group of people that love each other and work together and can deal with that. That's a special type of person. I deal with them all the time. And I see them, and I have a lot of praise for them. And I try to help them as much as I can because I understand what they're going through. And also the mindset, it's just decking, it don't matter. It does matter. So if you don't take care of your workspace and where you work, and it looks like shit and the floor's coming up, then the attitude to the employee and the team is that you don't care. So what they do on the deck plate level, I call it, fixing the deck, making it look nice, that helps emanate people to take care of things. And they take care of things because it's been taken care of by great people. And so that's a really cohesive team that works together. There's other very cohesive teams I work with too where I work. And it's in riggers, it's in the cranes, it's in the staging. It's all over where I work with. Could they be a little bit better? Sure they could. Do some of them really understand how much of a team they are? I don't think a lot of them really do. But they all should be working hard into one goal, is to be a cohesive team. And working as a team. If one falls down, another one picks it up. That's what's important. We as Americans should do that with each other. If somebody falls down, we should pick them up. We should try to help them be a cohesive team and study that pattern and help each other be that person and make it better. If you're not that person that don't know how to work as a team player, then you need to figure it out. Because I don't know about you, but I get very lonely when I feel isolated, when I don't have a good day and I'm not functioning as a cohesive team, or it's not operating really well. No matter what you do, if you're in repair of cranes or you're in repair of submarine or you're a mechanical shop, electrical shop, it's important to be very cohesive. It's important to have a pep in your step and have the passion to work. I've seen a lot of people come in and no passion to work. I do different litmus tests to see what kind of person they are, how much information they want to, or if they want to learn, and then I know how much I want to share. It's unfortunate some don't want to know something and don't want to learn and really don't care if you want to share something with them. What I can tell you as an employee, you should always be up to learn something new. You should always be willing to have somebody teach you, and you should be always willing to learn from somebody young, middle-aged, or even old like I am. Gathering that information on how to be better and how to improve yourself is important. You should self-identify yourself in the mirror a lot and look at it and say, did I have a good day? Did I really do what I could do? Did I do my best? Did I really work as a team player? And if the answer is no, then you need to fix that. Have I always been perfect? No. Have I always had friction with others? Sure. But I'm a very competitive person. But it's not because I don't care for that person or I don't like him. It's just I'm competitive. So when I think somebody else is competitive, then I bounce off them and I levy off them and I use their competitiveness for my own. It helps me become competitive and be better. I got a lot of great friends at work and I love them to death, and they're very competitive and they help me be competitive. They keep me on my, what I would say, the A game. Today is Wednesday. Tuesday, my wife knew I was having problems with my chainsaws that I'm fixing. I have two of them, not going well. And me and my wife, I think, are a strong team. My wife knew this. She knew I was frustrated and I wasn't doing well. And she knows that it weighs on me at work that I can't get something fixed at home. And I don't like stuff lingering around. I'm very OCD on being perfect and having it run right and making it work. And these two chainsaws, I'll be honest, are kicking my ass. And come to find out, yesterday my wife just knew I was struggling with it. She knew it was frustrating me. And I was spending a lot of physical effort trying to start them. In fact, I wore a damn 2 pull cords off of one saw trying to start it, knowing I should just break it back down. But I think also in myself, my mindset is I don't want to fail. I know I got something's wrong. I didn't do something right, and I might have missed it. So me and my wife are strong team players. So my wife saw this yesterday. She goes, look it, I love you, but you need to take time. You need to take tomorrow off. This was Tuesday, yesterday. You just need to take it off, Henry. You need to take it off, go out in your shop. I'll leave you alone and work on your saws by yourself and just have some Henry time. Now that's a sacrifice of a team. Like I said, me and my wife are team players. We do everything together. We drop my cars off. I get in the maintenance. I'm following her home right now. There she is in bad weather. I'm watching her. She watches me. We've been together going on 26 years. And we've been a strong team together. We've really done well for ourselves in financing and life and love. And that's because of our team bond with each other. I didn't have this in my first marriage. It's one-sided. It wasn't a team at all. So play your better half into your life as a team player is important. I realize that. But it wasn't for her sacrifice last night and her forethought and saying, look, just take the day off. You just need yourself. And I have leave, but I haven't been doing it because I've been thinking about the team. And I really looked, and then I said, I want to look at my phone. I want to see what work I got going on to make sure that I don't leave the team hanging by taking the day off. I don't like disappointment. And I'm so team orientated that I don't just like walking away. Even when the team's not working the best they should be working, or the persons that I have to work with are not treating me right, I still persevere and I push through and I still go back and say we're a team. And I still try to function as a team. Trust me, since my whole life I had evil things said to me, and even just recently I had some evil things said to me, but I can't help it. I just come back because I'm still team orientated, and I went back to those same people and I said, look it, I might have had a bad day, but you had a bad day too. But don't ever say that you don't need me, and don't ever say I'm doing this or doing that and I'm not no help to you. But I did take my day off of myself to refocus and reboot. But I will say this in this coffee shop talk, you got to have teamwork. It got to be cohesive. It's got to be one giant dynamic, and otherwise you won't make it. You can watch other countries around us switching over to socialism, and because their teamwork's failing, it's breaking down. They become individuals And our society in America is looking like it's trying to go down the individuality road. You can't function as a society individually. Socialism is one-sided. It's I want it, it's me, or communism, and you're going to do what I tell you to do. You can't do that against a team. A team can stand up to anybody that is that style and can stop it, change it, or hold it under control. But if you're not as a team player, as a unified force, then you can be conquered. It's at work, at home, anywhere. Your kids even know if you and your wife do not operate as a team, then the kids win and they'll conquer and they will divide both of you. I know this because me and my first wife did not work as a cohesive team. My children saw this and they use it and leverage against it because it's called fight or flight. And that's their survival technique, was to survive and try to keep something they thought cohesive. But it wasn't. We were not operating as a team, and we fought, and then it impacted my children. And I apologize for that, but what do you do when you're young? You don't know the rules of parenting, you don't know the rules of marriage, and you don't understand what teamwork is until you see it not there. And when it's non-existent, then you can actually be satisfied and realize how important it is to have teamwork. Whether in a marriage or a relationship, at work, or just out in society. In fact, we picked up the Jeep when we were talking to a young gentleman. He was a salesman. Gave us his business card. Nice gentleman. Happy-go-lucky. And we were talking about all that. And he was talking about some of the places he worked, why he left, because there was no teamwork. And I see that all over the place happening. I see it in hospitals. I see it in restaurants. I see it in car places. I see it anywhere there's work, the breakdown of teamwork. One person standing around while the rest are working. 10 people standing around when one's working. You go in a restaurant and it's dirty. The tables are dirty. The floor is dirty. The bathrooms are dirty. That's the breakdown of teamwork. There's no cohesiveness because the leader doesn't understand teamwork. Or the leader's trying to do it all himself. Young girl went to go give me my military discount and didn't know how to do it. That's a breakdown in teamwork. That's a breakdown in leadership. Because the leader that put her out there on the cash register to take the customer's orders should have already trained or taught her that and reinforced it and asked them, you got it? Do you need any more help? Do you understand? But when you don't do that, you can tell right there is a failure of teamwork because I saw it. The restaurant we just went in today, it was clean, it was organized, the girl was polite, minus the ability to do the military discount, just a little bit more training. But the manager come out to fix it and didn't say, good job, here's how you do it. He didn't even instruct her, he just did it for her. That's not teamwork, and that's bad leadership. Then he didn't say, sorry for the inconvenience, are you guys okay? How's your food? Nothing. He just went right back and hid. That's poor leadership, that's poor teamwork. What'll happen is eventually your employees leave you. And when your employees leave you, it's because they're not happy with the supervision, they're not happy with leadership. A lot of people just leave their job site because there's no cohesive team. They don't feel accepted or wanted. They don't feel like they're being trained. They don't feel like anybody cares about them. So what they do is they leave. Human beings have to have interaction. They have to have bold and strong and precise leadership. It has to be a strong team. It has to be cohesive, and they have to feel wanted. If you don't understand these principles of leadership and leading people and having teamwork, then I don't know what I can do for you. But this is my coffee shop talk that I just did today, 20 minutes long. And I hope I helped you. I hope I taught you something. I hope it makes sense. And I hope you can be a better leader. And I hope those that you're leading can understand why sometimes bad leaders just don't function right. Maybe they can help you. I also put ownership on the employees to help the leader be better. If you try to help the leader be better, but he doesn't drink the Kool-Aid and does not become better, then it's definitely time for you to leave or get a new leader in the spot. Because if they're not willing to change or be better to fix it so that the employees are happy, then he's not a good leader. Not a good CEO, not a good owner, not a good person. Anyways, that's Henry's Coffee Shop Talk. I'm almost home. I wanted to keep it at 20 minutes. I hope I entertained you. I hope you have a good night. And I hope you find your happiness. And best of all, Focus on teamwork and unity. Love each other. Care about each other. Stop the fighting and war. Stop the name calling. Stop the hate. Work as a team and be more cohesive. All right, that's Henry. That's my coffee shop talk for today. Everybody, have a great night. It's Wednesday, and I go back to work tomorrow morning on Thursday. Talk to you later. Have a good night.